ever since Chapter 1, My Hero Academia has made it very clear that the world, the society, is oversaturated by individuals that want to be and are heroes. And when you look at the latest chapter, it's a complete 180 in comparison to what the series has been up to this very point. We could just clearly see the absolute repercussions of everything that just happened, with Shigaraki, to the jailbreak, to countless pro heroes dying, to the reveal of Endeavor being exposed, and Hawks as well. It's just, irreparable damage. And seeing these old veteran heroes kind of, putting up their gloves, putting away their work shoes, and just being done with it completely really is telling. There isn't enough heroes now in society to save everyone, and people are going out of their own way to take it into their own hands to save themselves and others. It's just a very interesting perspective and direction this series is going. And one of the things that's really cool about all of this is the fact that this is something that's been building up for a very long time. It did not just happen overnight. It did not just happen in one chapter. This is a theme and message that has been clearly conveyed to us by Horikoshi Sensei himself since the Stain arc, that, society obviously needs to change. Example, Stain's introduction. Stain, even though he is very flawed as a person, he did definitely bring up a very good point. There is too many individuals that put the title on saying they're hero, but in reality, they are not. And when you look at the situation currently going on within My Hero Academia, you can truly see who is actually a hero and who is definitely not a hero. Those individuals that still decide to stick around despite everything, despite the backlash, despite the risk of losing their life, the risk of, losing their pay, whatever it may be, those that stick around really are showing their true colors. They're showing that they are actually, in fact, for saving people instead of just for fame and power, like so many others. And seeing old veterans stepping down really just goes to show just how they feel, and that it was all just a job for them since the very beginning, and in reality it wasn't about actually saving people. This is a message that also has been conveyed to us literally since the first chapter of My Hero Academia, and this has been very prevalent with some characters, like for instance Mount Lady. Obviously she's probably changed a lot since the beginning of the series, but it's a really big point that a lot of people got into wanting to be a hero because of money, because of fame, because of popularity, etc., etc., because it seemed like the world was very peaceful, and it makes a lot of sense. All Might created a golden age. He created something that was truly divine for anyone that wanted to be a hero. If you wanted to be a hero, it was the best time to jump on board and become one, because you had job security, there was so much work to do, and on top of that, you just, you could get that fame and popularity. People will praise you. It's something that people kind of crave, that recognition. And seeing this golden age fall, it was only a matter of time until it actually happened. All Might was literally holding up this entire age, and with him gone, eventually everything started to crumble away. Nobody could have stopped what happened in these latest chapters. Even if Shigaraki did not initiate what he did with All for One, this outcome would have eventually happened without All Might, and just because of everything, it sped up the progress quite considerably, obviously. So it's a really interesting direction the series is going now, because now it is literally what, I guess Redestro wanted, what Shigaraki wants. It's order without order. Or it's basically just chaos. You're going to have individuals that are going to rise up and be a vigilante. You're going to have individuals that are not really given the hero title actually trying to be heroes. I could definitely see maybe characters from the spin-off manga, My Hero Academia Vigilante, appearing in these upcoming chapters to really, take a step forward and show that they're here to save the day, even if they don't have the official title of actually being a hero. It's very exciting, honestly, and I do like this. I love the repercussions of the previous arc. It's very clear, and it's conveyed in such a beautiful way, because literally the theme of My Hero Academia, literally since the beginning, is an oversaturated society, and now it's not. It is literally a dead zone for heroes. So yeah, overall, amazing. Now, after a couple chapters kind of going past the last arc we're in, that is my overall thoughts on that arc. Even though I have some things that are still up in the air that I'm not the biggest fan of, I still think overall that conclusion of the previous arc we were just in is fantastic, especially for what we're getting into right now. So, let's actually get into the core content of these latest chapters. Obviously, Endeavor is a major spotlight, and that's something I do want to talk about a lot because obviously he is kind of the one carrying the whole weight on his shoulders thanks to everything. Thanks to him being technically the #1 hero, thanks to him, getting exposed like he did in front of everyone, he has a lot to answer for, and many are going to be directing their anger, their fear, everything that they're feeling right now towards Endeavor. Even the heroes that are, putting up their gloves and their work boots are going to be directing their overall emotions towards Endeavor as well. Endeavor is probably one that, regardless, even if he is innocent, even if Endeavor was an innocent man, he would be still a villain in everybody's eyes. So Endeavor's career is effectively ruined. Even if Dobby didn't do what he did, Endeavor still would have to answer for everything, which in the end result, he would probably have to step down and not really be a hero anymore. For all we know, Endeavor's probably going to get charged. Endeavor's probably going to get thrown away. But, what prison, honestly, is he going to be thrown into at this point? Everything was basically broken down. Society is not really working properly anymore thanks to what All for One did with Shigaraki's body. So, there's a lot of questions up in the air, but the point still stands that Endeavor, he is no longer a hero. And he makes that very, very clear, especially towards the end of the latest chapter, that Endeavor died. His hero self died in that fight against Dobby and Shigaraki. He no longer can say that he is actually a hero. It actually is a nice callback to All Might and his interaction with Shigaraki. If you remember a long time ago, when All Might figured out that Shigaraki was actually the grandson of his teacher, he can no longer view Shigaraki as an enemy. That was something that Gran Torino himself said to All Might a very long time ago, and this is clearly a nod to that, a parallel to what happened a very long time ago, but now it's happening for Endeavor, and he can't possibly step up to the plate and take down his own son after everything that has happened. He is literally the cause and the reason why Dobby is like he is. So it's just like he can't do it. He can't be the one to just stop his ideals and what he believes in after everything. So Endeavor has effectively lost his hero self. He's gone. And I feel bad because he's always been that individual that literally stood by his name, Endeavor. Even though he did a lot of horrific things as a person, he still held on to that and he didn't want to forget about it and he kept moving forward, because if he decided to forget about it but also not move forward, he would kind of crap on everything that he did. It would kind of be crapping on all those bad things he did in the past. It's like, what was the point of it if you're just going to give up? So it's really sad to see his outcome of his character, but it seems like we are getting very close and closer to some closure for Endeavor's family arc. We gotta see where that's gonna go in the upcoming chapters. But yeah, I'm really shocked about everything, and I'm really curious to see exactly what's going to happen. Endeavor's going to be put on a stake. He's literally going to be thrown up and all that, and he is going to be demolished by the public. There is nothing he can say that's going to make them happy. So, he's already done on that regard. The question now is will his family come to accept him and agree to try to be a family? There is a lot of bad blood between all the family members, and especially thanks to the whole Toya with being Dobby reveal, all these old wounds have just been completely ripped back open. The Band-Aid that's been there for years was just completely ripped off once again, and it's just gushing out blood. And seeing, them all meet up together to see Endeavor, the question now is what are they going to say? Are they going to say, oh yes, you're an absolute piece of crap and you need to step up and not give up? Is that what they're going to say? Are they going to say, we forgive you and all that, you've done enough? There's so many questions, and this is a really big moment for Endeavor. This is going to be the main thing that's either going to make or break him as a person. Will he continue to move forward as a hero, or will he give up and lay down and just step down completely? So many questions about that. Now, anyways, I do want to talk about some other things. I want to talk about Stain. Since I already technically mentioned Stain, and I mentioned the whole society crumbling down, etc., and Stain kind of was a hint at maybe things to come, Stain did reappear, and he got out of Tartarus and all that, and he is now free to do whatever he wants. The question now is what is he going to do? Because he now technically got his goal. He has technically gotten society to see that there isn't a lot of true heroes. And is he going to start hunting down individuals that gave up? Those individuals that basically say that they don't want to be a hero anymore? Is that what Stain's going to do? Or is Stain going to actually pitch in and start being a vigilante to saving people? It can go either way, honestly. Because Stain, even though he isn't necessarily a villain, he isn't necessarily a hero either. He's kind of in between, and I do wonder if he might pitch in to try to do some hero work in a vigilante type style. And once again, I do wonder if characters from the spinoff is going to appear, you know, like Pop Step or something, appearing in the upcoming chapters. I would love that if that is definitely the case. It'd be a nice tie-in for the spinoff to kind of correlate with the ongoing content of My Hero Academia. And speaking of which, we need to talk about the prison stuff. So, all for one, we knew he was going to eventually break out. And that has obviously happened at this point. And there's been a lot more prison breakouts now thanks to everything. And you have so many villains that have been locked away thanks to All Might and other characters now free to do whatever they want. And it's causing a whole lot of problems. These villains that really took a lot to bring down are now free to do whatever. And I mean, you even have people like Overhaul. He is now free to do whatever he wants. And that is a very, very scary ordeal, because I heard something apparently that Overhaul could potentially still use his quirk. Someone did tell me that a long time ago, like a few weeks back. I could be wrong about that. You can, don't quote me on this saying that this is actual fact that he can, but apparently somewhere along the lines Overhaul somehow can still use his quirk. And if that is the case, that's scary, because that means that he could get his hands on Eri, and we know Eri now is getting a little bit more grasp on her power, and we know where that can lead. So just, yeah, Overhaul being out is not good. And then we also have the stuff with Muscular out. We have the stuff with, you know, Moonfish out. There's countless villains that have been put away that are now doing whatever they want. And then not to mention the whole ordeal with, you know, just seeing Shigaraki like he is. That is something that I do want to talk about. So, one of my biggest things I have a complaint about for the previous arc is Shigaraki's body being taken over by All For One. Now, obviously, this is going to lead to probably something where Shigaraki is going to overpower his mentor and truly become the ultimate villain. To become the ultimate villain, obviously, you need to be able to out-villain the main old villain. So, I feel like there's going to come a time within the story to where Shigaraki obviously might lose himself, but then he's going to take back his body and probably destroy his father figure that is All For One. I talked about this previously many chapters ago, saying that we all know Horikoshi Sensei. He loves Star Wars. He's a big fan of it. He's done illustrations for Star Wars. He's done hints with his manga covers for Star Wars. He's a huge fan. And if there's anything that, if you know anything about Star Wars, you know that there's like two Siths. And usually the apprentice kills his master to truly ascend and become the new Sith master. And I do wonder if Shigaraki is going to do that. If Shigaraki, to truly ascend, he's going to have to kill All For One to truly remain in control. I sense something like that potentially happening, but I could be wrong. So yeah, I do think, though, Shigaraki's situation is weird. It's a very delicate one, because when you think about everything, Horikoshi spent a lot of time, so much time on Shigaraki's character development and characterization. To have him taking control of his body ripped away from him is kind of sad. It's really sad, because I think many could agree we like him as a character, which makes the conflict between both sides interesting, because you're kind of rooting for both sides in your own way. You love Shigaraki's side, and you love, you know, Izuku's side with Endeavor and all of them, and seeing him losing his body, it's like you're losing that connection with the character itself. And I do hope that Shigaraki is actually able to get his body back in due time. It's probably going to take us some time to rest, but I do hope it actually happens. Speaking of which, I do want to mention the stuff with Hawks. So Hawks, he kind of states his opinion on everything, and he's basically like, look, you know, even if everything that happened with Endeavor is true, what Dabi said, it doesn't change the fact of how I feel. I think he's a changed man, and I still want to help him out. So we got to see Hawk's opinion on everything, and he's not giving up on Endeavor, and he's trying to give him some support. So I do feel like that it might be a way of Endeavor really stepping up and not giving up being a hero. Once again, we'll see in time. But I think that's about it. It's a good chapter. It's good latest chapters. The current state of My Hero Academia is fantastic. I'm loving the direction of the story because it's really showing the repercussions of the last arc with all the deaths to just society being broken. It's great. This is a really good time to be a My Hero Academia fan. But I'll leave it at that. I love you guys. You have a wonderful day or night wherever you live. If you enjoy my content, please subscribe. If you like this video, please leave a like. And if you want to get notified for whenever I upload a video, please click the bell icon down below. And with that, Chibi out.